and I would be worried about how I was going to pay the bills, how I was going to make ends meet, how I was going to find the money to get to the event or get something I needed. Or, it was just this whole world of worry, this whole world of, not to be crude, but I'm just going to say it like it is, because I know you've been there sitting on the toilet when the rest of your family's asleep. Not that you're doing anything on the toilet, but you're just sitting there and you're thinking and you're trying to find the way. And on the flip side, the still of the night is when you think of ideas and when you think of what's possible and you dream, and there's no noise and there's no voices telling you what you should be doing or what you can't be doing or what's impossible or what's silly. Have you guys had that? People that you love telling you, don't do that, or that doesn't make sense, or that's this, or that's that, or here's why it won't work, and here's what's wrong with it. So I want you to think about, what are the things that you think about in the still of the night? And are they based on potential, or are they thinking about the fears and the worries and the concerns? Because whatever that is, whichever direction you're leaning, is telling you what you need to be doing towards the day, during the day. So for example, if we spend that time in the night when we wake up, and by the way, I used to be the mom that would tuck the kids in, everybody would go to bed, and then I would stay up till 2, 3, sometimes 4 in the morning. Sometimes I would get to bed for an hour or two before it was time to get up and get everybody up and going. And then I would actually, I'm just doing true confessions, okay? I would actually then lay down after they left, because in the still of the night, in the quiet, was when I could think. In the still of the night, in the quiet, now I've learned to use the morning now, but it used to be the night for me. Because if I got up back then, if I got up early in the morning, they'd hear me. It doesn't matter how much I tippy toe, there'd be a 6-year-old going, "Mommy, what's going on? I want Fruit Loops," or something. So I would use the night as my time to journal, to listen, to think. And when I started out, the nighttime was all about worry. The nighttime was all about fear. It was like a terror. And as I started to come down the road, the nighttime turned into the time of creation, and it turned into a time of dreams, hopes, and goals. So what I want you guys to understand is, during the day, there's lots of people pulling at you. There's the kids, there's the family, there's the boss, there's all of the things that are pulling at you all day. At night and early in the morning, that doesn't exist, okay? And when we come into the daytime, we have the ability to create our world. What we experience all day long is based upon how we react to what is around us, okay? Now, this is a little woo-woo, but I really want you to think about it, because I talk to a lot of people in the community, and it's really interesting. One person in the community, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, just in general, one person will be so excited. There's a new page to use. There's a new lead magnet. There's something new going on. There's tools. There's excitement. There's tons of training in the back office. And they're completely and totally focused on using all the resources that have been given to them and using all of the energy that's surrounding them. They're showing up as much as they can, depending on what your life schedule's like. They're showing up to the wake-up calls. You're listening to the podcast. They're showing up to the Q&As and the happy hours. This afternoon with Stacy Hall, she's going to be teaching some very fundamental stuff, where to find good leads, right? And good prospects. And people show up, and they're very plugged in, and they are creating their reality. And every piece of new news is a gift to them. Every new website, every new tool, every new idea or concept or how to integrate something, it's a gift, and they're excited because they have taken what happens in the still of the night and they've trained their mind and they've taken that into their day, and everything is excited. They're childlike. Everything is a new adventure. Everything is wonderful. They go to the workshop and they're excited and they're learning new things. Workshop 1 I'm talking about, they're excited for workshop 2. They're coming on the calls, and every day is new, a new skill, something new learned, and new development inside of themselves. And then I can take another person inside of the community, and every time anything's announced or updated or there's a new training or there's something new to learn, they sit and they grumble because they think, why are they always changing this? Why is this? Why do I have to learn this? All of this is too hard. I can't afford this. They haven't even used what they have. I can't afford this. I can't do that. I can't do this. What's the difference? What's the difference between these two people? People come and go, right? Somebody will get started, they don't even log in and they quit. And then somebody else will log in their first week, they've generated leads and they're like blown away with what's in that back office. What's the difference? Somebody will go to the webinar and they're so excited and they go out and they use the new tool and they get leads that night or the next morning. They're out deploying. They're doing some of the things that I've taught you guys about, how to take the asset that they give you, the ebooks or the training, and break it up and create tons of posts and things to put all over the internet to generate leads and bring people towards you, right? And build that list and all the things we show you. One person is so excited and jacked and another person says, this is stupid. And by the way, I've been both people. So this is not critical. Hear me. This is not critical. I've been both people. I'm still both people today. Okay. There's been a million times that I went, nah, 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 right? And there's been a million times I've been like, oh, snap, this is incredible. What's the difference? The difference is what we tell ourselves in the still of the night, what's coming up out of us. And the difference is how we decide to create our day, because the real world, right? Because we go out in the real world, like people always still say that to me, like, well, you don't operate in the real world. I haven't had a job in 25 years. I haven't had a job. I want you to hear that. I have not had a job or had to commute or go to work or have anybody else tell me what to do in 25 years. It's funny because I thought for a little while, I had some stuff going on in my life and I thought, oh, maybe I'll take a job because I'm medical insurance and stuff like that. And then I looked at what was going to be required. And I did take a job, by the way. I moved and I had a job for, I don't know, for a little while. And God intervened because that company didn't work out. Okay. It wasn't me. I didn't have to leave. It was the company didn't work out. The company had some issues. And I came back home and came back to what I know and what I do and what I do best. But when you think about it, we create our own reality. We create our own possibility. What's possible for one person with what they learned on the Wednesday night webinar this week is completely impossible for another person. And it's not because of the tool. It's not because, like, every time I show people the back office of MLSP and I sit and show them all the things that are available and the value that it is, it's incredible what's in there. And it's incredible what you can do with what's in there. You know, if you're a little scrappy like me, you can take pieces and parts and, duct tape things together and make all kinds of incredible fun things and do all kinds of things. And you have something for everybody. There is nobody that I meet that I don't have something for, right? Think about it. It doesn't matter if I'm not into credit score repair, right? I have a good credit score. I'm not into credit score repair. It's not part of my business. But if somebody's telling me I have a crappy credit score, I'm like, I got this great report. There's always something that I have to give someone, and there's always more. But it's about the way we look at things. So here's a couple tips for you. And again, not critical. This is about awareness. And that's what happened to me as I came down the road. I started to become aware. I had a very lack consciousness. I thought everything was a scam. Everybody was out to get me. Everything was a way to lose money. I came from a culture of not enough, will never be more. Those are the rich people. We're the, the blue collar working class people. You have to have a job. This is what I came from. And by the way, they were not wrong. That was their reality. And they didn't know. They didn't know. My family, my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, they didn't know they had a choice, and or at the time, there weren't a lot of choices. There was no internet. There was no network marketing, back far enough. I know there was probably in the 60s, right? But if you go back far enough, there was no other option or alternative. And when you come from generations of employees, it doesn't even occur to you to be entrepreneurial or open a store or become a merchant or do anything that would give you more control. They believed they were at the mercy of the world. I believed, as I developed myself and I went to work and I read and I studied and I learned, I believed that the world was my oyster. Literally, and I've traveled around the world teaching attraction marketing. And literally, I've been to Europe, I've been to Asia. I want to go to Africa. I have MLSP members in Africa. I want to go to Africa. Okay. I've been all over the place. I've been in Latin America, in Central America. I haven't been in South America really, but I've been around the world teaching this stuff, guys. You determine what your world is. The real world is determined by your mind. So a couple things. One, how you do this. And by the way, you never make anybody bad or wrong. I had to learn this from my mentor because I went through that phase everybody in home business goes through where my family's bad and I'm good, or they don't understand. You don't make anybody wrong. You're just looking for people that are looking for you. You're looking for people that are going down the road that you want to go down, and everybody else, just love them. Don't separate yourself from people. You never know when a time comes that all of a sudden they change, or maybe watching you will help them change. You don't make people wrong. You don't need to. And by the way, I've done that too. So again, if I'm speaking into you, I've been down this road. I'm speaking from experience. Okay? Determine if you want to create your own world. The first thing is you determine your environment. Who are you spending most of your time with? It is no mistake and no accident that MLSP gives you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 10 hours, sometimes more, worth of environment for you every single week. Do you guys realize that? We give you as much as 10 hours worth of environment. Now, Monday night is new member orientation. You obviously don't need to keep going to that, although Val's so cute, I would, and Keisha, I would keep going to see him, right? But we give you, a lot of times the webinars and stuff run over an hour, so I'll say 10. We give you 10. What if it's 8? What if it's 12? We give you hours and hours worth of environment that you can choose to be a part of, to be uplifted, okay? Your back office gives you reams of environment, even though it's virtual and not live, right? Because it's recorded, that you can immerse yourself in. When I got started, we didn't have MLSP, but my best friends became Jim Rome, Randy Gage, Joe Shorter. I had tapes, literally cassette tapes, and I listened to them over and over and over again because I didn't have community like this. This wasn't possible. My upline was 3 hours away. I got to see them once a month. Okay. I got to see them once a month. I got to go to my home business family. Everything else was up to me. There was no podcast. Okay. There was no, and it's not poor me. I'm just saying, if you are not creating your own environment, that is a choice you're making yourself, because you have to drown out all the other messages that are coming at you or that are around you, right? You have to drown it out so that you can be strong and keep moving forward in your business. Now, I'm not talking about brainwashing yourself or any of this weird stuff. I hear a lot of weird stuff out in the marketplace. We don't do that here, guys. We do marketing. We're not trying to control you. We're not trying to brainwash you. We're not trying to guilt you. This is what I love about here. There's none of that stuff. We're just trying to teach you how to make a living from home or wherever you want to be. So your environment, that's completely under your control. A lot of people will say, it's not under my control because of this and that. It is under your control. You just have to choose to take control. Now, the next thing, what are you feeding your mind? And I know that may seem the same, but it's not. Okay, so your environment, who you're hanging out with, and then what are you feeding your mind? What are you putting into it? Are you listening to, for example, my mastermind, The Deep Abyss? I have many members of The Deep Abyss. It happens the third Thursday of every month. If you just want to check it out, it's thedeepabyss.com. I have many members that download those onto their phone, the older ones that are audios. They download those onto their phone. The new ones are videos because we're teaching more marketing now, but originally it was all audio mindset. There's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours worth of things to feed your mind in there for pennies, So that's there. Or maybe you're into Audible, or maybe you're into YouTube videos because you're on a budget and those are free. God bless, do it. You guys, and people go, I mean, there's commercials on YouTube now. You know what? For like $13 a month, you can have unlimited stuff. If you pay for the non-commercial thing, it's like unlimited. You never run out of stuff to feed your mind on YouTube. If you just use the Jim Rohn stuff and the Zig Ziglar and all that type of stuff, the business philosophers of days gone by, if you just use that stuff on YouTube, it would be worth it. Okay. So what are you feeding your mind? What are you reading? By the way, I have stacks of books I'm looking to give away. You're looking for something, let me know. Let me know the title you're looking for. I might have one. I'll send it over to you. I have stacks of books because I need to clean out my house. I just have too many. So what are you reading? You can go, by the way, you don't have to go to Amazon and buy a new book. You can go down to Savers or Goodwill. You'll find tons of copies of things like Think and Grow Rich and all that stuff down there for $1. Tag sales. I bought some of my best personal development stuff at tag sales. So whatever the story is you're telling yourself about why you can't, I have to work, I can't be on the wake up calls. We have a podcast. I live in Europe, because I hear people talk about the time zone all the time. I appreciate it. I understand. I used to do calls all the time at the time zone that would help out Europe because we had a lot of European members. I get it. We have people in other continents. I get it. Everything's recorded. Okay. Everything's recorded. Books, you can get them for pennies on a dollar. Hardcover books, you can get for nothing. Okay, so what are you putting into your mind? What new skill are you learning this week? What new skill? Every week I decide, like right now I'm working heavily on short form video. Okay. And I got to tell you, it scares the poop out of me. I keep chickening out. I made one last night, which was good. I keep going to do it and I keep like kind of hesitating. I have a group that we're doing it together, which is what I do is I get people together to work on something. But what new skill in our back office can you conquer this week? Take a week and learn one skill. That's a problem. Everybody wants to learn all the skills in one day. And then when they can't do them all in one day or it doesn't yield in a minute, then everybody gives up. Pick one thing. Is it connecting your autoresponder and getting your autoresponder set up? Is it learning how to use the funnelizer? Is it learning how to use our done for you pages and editing the back part of it? Is it maybe you need photographs and images? You don't have any good photos. Maybe you need to go out and take 200 pictures this week. What can you conquer this week? What new skill? Because what I want you to know is that confidence comes through these processes. When you learn a skill, when you feed your mind, when you change your environment, and when you execute, like this afternoon, you can come hang out with Stacy and learn how to go into Facebook groups and meet high quality people, right? When you do these things and you do them regularly, like people say to me, oh, you're such a good writer, Diane, you're the email queen. You've made so much money from email. How did you get so good? I would love to write like you. I say, write a letter every day. Well, I can't write every day because, well, you could, you choose not to, right? And by the way, I'm talking to myself because same thing. I could be just conquering on short form video, but I hesitated. It's a 1 minute video, not even 30-second video. I hesitated. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to all of us. We create our reality, and what we think in the still of the night dictates what the day is going to look like. Change your mind, change your life, change your income, right? I mean, change your mind, change your income, change your life. Change your mind, change your income, change your life. And that's my message for today. In the still of the night, what's inside of us comes up and it comes out. And then we have the choice to work on let it all out, okay? Let it all out, but then start filling yourself up with something new, and what comes out of you will be something new. It's going to be magical. So I'm going to jump over to mlspfanpage.com. I think it's MLSP. I don't know what it's. I always forget. I think it's MLSP fan page. But if you just go on Facebook and you put in My Lead System Pro and look for the fan page, I'm going to go over there and go live. There's a whole bunch of you around. I want to have a conversation. I want to talk about it. Let's just, be self-revealing today. How many of you guys heard yourself in this call? I know I'm talking to myself while I'm talking to you. And it's a guys, deciding to do these things is an exercise in self-love. It's an exercise in self-love, deciding that you deserve to be free from bondage, deciding that you deserve and that you are worthy of a new skill, and a skill that will bring you money, deciding that you are worthy of new, wonderful people in your life. This is all your choice, and it's all you deciding it's time. In my career and in my life, I've gone through many periods where I've just saddled up and I've rode and I've done it, and I've gone through many periods of coasting. I'm not going to lie. But in the end, it becomes about a message for people and a hope for others, and sharing what you've learned and caring enough. See, if I cared enough, I'd make those gosh darn videos. If I cared enough, I'd share the Done For You campaigns. If I cared enough, I'd make those Instagram posts. And I drown out all the stories about why I can and why this won't work and all of that stuff. And I'd go to work, because there's people coming down the road that are looking for us. There's people coming down the road that need us. And I know I was lucky enough to be sitting there one day when somebody said, "Do you want to come to a meeting?" In 1999. Maybe for you, it's, do you want to come to the Wednesday night webinar? You say that to somebody. Or do you want to read my ebook on blank? Do you want to learn how to generate some leads? Do you want to do this? I don't know what it is, but what I know is if you care enough and if you decide to become a vessel of true love, you go out and you do this and you sing that song, and it becomes magical. In the still of the night, we reveal to ourselves where we are. The next time you have that moment, and if you're like me and you're in your 50s, it's like a lot of times because you got to go to the bathroom a lot. Again, not to be crude, but the next time you have that moment, see what's coming up. And if you don't like what's coming up, change it. And if you love what's coming up, make sure you carry that into your waking hours, into your day. I'll see you guys over at the fan page. See you in a bit. Bye. Hey gang, so good to see you guys. Go over to the MLSP fan page and join me there. And if there is anybody that's watching this or sees it at a later time, and you want a demo account of our wonderful system, it's over at DianeHochman.com, $1. Grab it and then reach out to me. Let me know you got it, and I'll get you in our private group. All right, I'll see you guys over there. Oops.